Hello, and welcome to another edition of Emotions Expert. I'm John Rushton. A lot of people have actually written in complaining about their lives and what has not gone right and that things have gone wrong and they've been disappointed and where can they go from where they are and how do they make a difference and whatever. And I think a lot of it is down to your perception of life and what you think life should be about, because what you think and what is may be two different things. A lot of people also have been writing in and phoning in and asking about, what do I do when things go wrong and I don't know what to do? You know, sometimes things are going well and everything's fine and everything's super, and then bang, something happens and it all comes tumbling down. And I just don't know what to do, where to go, how to make the change or anything. And it's sometimes beyond their comprehension. They're just stuck in a quagmire of negativity. They're just stuck in an auric version of something which is not very pleasant. They're just wandering in the ether all the time, thinking, what do I do? Where do I go? Oh, what about me? Poor me. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I just can't think. My mind's not playing right. And it just goes on like this. And they keep rolling this over in their mind, regurgitating the same thought patterns, looking at the same problems. And of course, if you look at the problem, nothing will ever change. You have to look at the solution. And it doesn't matter whether it's the wrong solution. The fact is you're looking at a solution which takes your mind off the problem. Excuse me. If you actually look at problems continually and you dwell on them and you tell all your friends and family and anybody else who's a pathetic listener all about your problems, all you're doing is amplifying your problems. You're giving them gravitas. You're giving them some kind of base, because the more you talk about your problems, you're giving them not only this gravitas, but you're giving them arms and legs, and you're then creating more and more and more, because to you, it's dull, it's boring, it's not exciting anymore. You've already done it, so you're repeating it, so you're adding things to it, sometimes subconsciously. But when you add things to parts of your life, you get into a state which is almost fantasy. And then when you have fantasy, you're saying one thing and living something else. And there's a big dichotomy in all of that. When things go wrong, and sometimes they do, you can have a job and one day you're having a fabulous life, nice salary, nice friends, company, everything, lovely clothes, whatever, you're really enjoying it all. And then the company goes bust and you're made redundant, or you just find you've had a health scare, or there's a massive bill for you, something, and your finances are almost in shatters because you didn't know you had to pay this and everything else has gone awry. And you think, wow, now what's happened? But all it is what they call a life change and a plot change. And once it happens, all you have to say to yourself is, okay, everything's changed. Let's start another route, because that's the only thing you can do. You cannot keep harping about what was or what could be or what might be. You have got to be an instigator to do something. You can't rely on anybody else, because you're the only one who lives your life. You're the only one who enjoys who you are. You're the only one who creates who you are. So you've got to look within yourself and think, right, I've got to do something. And if your mind has a temporary blackout and you don't know what to do because it's such a shock to the system, that's okay. But it will only be a temporary one. And the fact is, the bottom line, you've got to do something, anything. Phone another company, phone an employment agency, phone a helpline, phone something. But talk to somebody outside of your own thought process. Talk to somebody outside your own circle of friends and family. Talk to somebody who doesn't possibly know you or even want to know you, but what they will do, they'll give you advice. Now, it doesn't matter whether it's good or bad advice. Yes, if it's good, brilliant. But if it's bad advice, it's still somewhere you can resonate with and think, well, okay, I've got some advice. It doesn't sound very good or wholesome to me. It doesn't sound like something I would do. But that is a positive thing, because the more you can actually cross things off your list, the further you are going to somewhere better. So never look at things which are really, really bad as totally waste of time. They're not. They give you grounding. They give you an alternative viewpoint on life. They give you an alternative feeling as to what to do, where to go, and how to do it. And when you've actually had that negative advice, you phone another place to get some more advice. And based on that negative advice, you are a better person to ask more questions. You are a better person to seek more information, because they will have said something possibly that you didn't know before, or you didn't understand, or in a way which was put in a different direction. So it puts you on a better stance to actually be more of yourself and say, well, look, I've just had this has happened. I've got these commitments. I've got to do this and this and this. What do I do? Where do I go? What would you suggest? And then when they've given you some information, think, well, that was pretty good, actually. I didn't know that. There are quite a few things here I need to do. But I will phone another company, another organization, and they will probably tell me more. And that will be the case, because not everybody knows everything. And so you build up a compendium of knowledge, and then you begin to feel more in charge of your life, more of who you are. Your old self is actually coming back again, but this time fighting fit. It's coming back into a level which you can understand. So when life changes, you have to react to it, whether it's good, bad, or indifferently, but you have to react to it somehow, because life isn't going to change for you. Nobody's going to change for you. You have to make the best of who you are and where you want to go. And if you've got to do things which you don't like, then so be it, do it. But don't whinge and moan, because the more you whinge and moan, the worse it'll get. When you completely start talking about the negative aspects of life and repeating them, they will get worse, because you're giving them a base. Stop giving them a base. Just speak about the positive aspects, the good things, where you want to go, what you want to do, the new information you've gleaned from other people, other situations, the new thoughts you've had in your mind, the new possibilities, the new dimensions, the new exits, the new pathways, the new everything. It's all there. There's millions and millions and millions of things out there which you don't even know exist, which you could fully do and do to your best ability and really, really enjoy it, because you would have an empathy with it. So don't be negative saying, well, there's nothing out there, when you haven't a clue what you're talking about. And most people say things like that. Well, I've tried everything. You haven't tried anything. You're an idiot. You're a stupid fool. Starts talking like that. You've only tried what you know. You haven't tried everything. It's impossible. You've got to actually look at alternatives. You may have to go a long way down an alternative route and come back, think, well, I've explored that quite a lot, and it definitely isn't me, because it just doesn't resonate. It's not the kind of person I am. But in that route, I've seen other possibilities which I could do, which do resonate well, because I feel, yes, that's something I could do. I feel quite warm and wholesome towards it. And it's something which I actually enjoy as well. And if you enjoy something, you do it far, far better. So next time a life change comes along, don't go into a morose situation, start whinging and moaning and say, oh, what about me? Why this? Just as things were going, because that's all happened. That's in the past. The past gets you nowhere. It's the future which is where you're going to go, and the present is where you're going to make that future. So just think of yourself as something far, far better, as a success, which you are deep down, and go down that route. This is all about you. Make the best of it.